It's like dialysis. I mean, I don't know why they want me to be on like dialysis. And then I tried the dialysis, blood in, blood out, this, that, the other. I don't know. I don't understand. And I'm like, that's not my scene. You know what I mean? The fistula thing, the graft thing, the thing in the chest. That's just too much for me. I mean, they're asking for too much. I don't have to have it. I don't have to take it, and I don't have to deal with it. All right. So I'm educated, I'm smart, and dialysis is just not for me. And that transplant thing, a kidney into my body from somebody else, I don't like it either. So that's not my thing either. So I don't know. They say I might die, but I don't think I'm going to die. I don't feel like I'm going to die. I feel very well. I feel very focused. I feel very together. So that's just like me. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you. That's all. I'm just telling you. Okay. So get my picture, get my drift. Don't send me no more emails. Don't come to my house. Don't get bother me when I come to the clinic or the doctor because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing the dialysis thing or anything. Nada. Okay? So get me in every language. No. Okay? So forget it. Kiss me goodbye. That's it. That's all I'm going to tell you. That's it. You know why, right? Because this is the Lisa Baxter Show, giving you the 411 in the kidney world. Good evening, people. Hi, you see me today in a t-shirt. I love t-shirts. I'm always kind of be dressed up a little bit on the show, but I love t-shirts too, and I collect them and got so many. And this one says, I'm better today. This is a saying that my pastor Lois used to say, I'm better today. And she used to always say, bless your life. She went home to be with the Lord, but she was a great woman, a woman that really can preach the gospel, and a woman that can truly pray. I love her, love her, love her. And I just want you to know, if you are looking to go to school or college and you are a young lady of this type of race or color, she has a foundation that helps. Okay, and a foundation you can also donate to if you want to or like. And it starts out helping the people in Brooklyn, Brownsville first, and then it branches out. But we'll start with that first because that's where she was from. Okay, at the time when she was younger. So it's called the Lois Rochford Foundation.org. Lois Rochford is ROCHFORD.org. So look up that foundation, okay? She dealt with psychodosis, and I don't know if anybody out there ever dealt with psychodosis. My mother dealt with psychodosis, had problems with respiratory or breathing or lungs. So whatever disease you're dealing with, get some education about it and get some help. And that's all I would like to say about that. Okay. So be well and be blessed and help somebody with that foundation to go to school, college, vocational school, or whether they're getting associates or bachelors. Whatever they're trying to do, that foundation does help with that. You might have missed the deadline, but still apply and try, and then wait for the next cycle or the next time around. So now you know it early, so get ready. I got a great person on my show tonight, and this young lady, I mean, she speaks her mind. She speaks the truth. She's educated. She worked. She's been on dialysis. She's have lupus. She's going to tell you her story and her journey. I want you to be attentive and listen. I thank you so much for listening. And I'm just going to introduce her, and we're going to get this thing started and rolling. Alicia Lofton, come on, girl. Welcome to the show. Hey, girl.
Hey, thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad to have you, man. I don't know how many years I chased you, but I chased you for a good long minute. You know,
Yes.
right. You know how we do. We sat side by side in the same dialysis center, right?
Yes.
And we got our treatment together. We had our
Yes.
snacks together, got our grub
Yes.
on together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Shared our problems together, kicked it,
Yes.
got angry, got upset, cried, pulled our little bit of hairs out when we had hair. We pulled it out and and what have you. So I'm just glad to have you on the show because You a person that speaks her mind and speak the truth and tell it like it is. So we're gonna pull it apart and we're gonna get up and personally write up and yeah. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
All right now. All right now. So I'm just gonna say a little more about you. First of all, you have an associate's degree, and you work with neighbors and people that dealt with disabilities at your job with DDSO. What does that stand for again? I know you told me, but I want you to say it.
It stands for Developmental Disabilities Service Organization or Office.
Ah, okay. Okay. So what did you do there?
It was the name is Bernard Feinstein. DDSO is just the type of place it is. It's
Okay.
working with the state, and I work with developmentally disabled individuals and also individuals with multiple like not only developmental disability, they might have some type of psychological problem,
Yeah. Okay.
and I would give meds, cook, you know give daily aid activities of daily living,
All right.
which is showers and clothes, laundry, depending on the day and my schedule.
Okay. So how hard was that job and what was easy about it?
Uh, the hard thing about it, honestly,
Yeah.
was stop saying, "Oh my God, that's retarded," because that would always be a saying that I would say. But in that environment, I found myself having to curve, what
Uh,
I'm saying because I didn't want to offend them or anyone. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
work with low functioning
Uh,
um individuals.
so they might be insulted by what you said, or may feel some
Yeah,
kind of way, or get
yeah.
offended, or maybe even get violent about it.
Yes, of course. You seen it on movies. You be like, "You retard," and somebody would be like, "Oh, I'm not retarded." Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And yeah,
So,
that's offensive.
hmm
Even though we might have been joking. I know I never like when people
exactly,
say the one with the glasses. I always
exactly.
your mama, the one with the glasses, the fat one when I was fat, or the skinny one when I was skinny. I was always offended by that. So,
Yes,
well, that's understandable. At least
and
you at least you tried to fix it and didn't keep saying it just because you was the worker and you
yeah,
worked
I
there.
didn't feel comfortable saying it because I'm like, okay, that's offensive. If I'm standing there and somebody keep being like, keep mistakenly saying nigger, like after a while, I'm not gonna think
Ram.
it's a
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. So we're gonna jump in and cut in to your journey with lupus. I'm gonna start out with lupus. Tell me what you deal with, or tell me something about lupus. We're gonna take this thing nice and easy.
Well, it's called systemic. I have systemic lupus. There's two types. One is
Okay.
of the skin and one is of the system. Systemic lupus erythematosus basically
Yes.
is an autoimmune disease that attacks my organs, blood vessels, basically attacks my body in any way.
Um, yes. Yes. You were saying that. I remember you was telling me that, and I didn't know it was two types. And I know some things about lupus, but I remember sitting next to you and you was telling me about it. I was saying, wow, I knew about diabetes and I knew about like kidney disease and high blood pressure, taking the kidneys out, but it was something else to hear lupus, taking it out as well, and certain medications
Yeah.
and damages to the kidneys. So but okay, so when did you find out you had systemic lupus?
Well, honestly, it was the same time that I was diagnosed with end stage renal disease. And
Wow.
at that time, I told him I may have lupus because a few years before that, um, I was going to get some testing for it. And I was kind of discouraged from finishing the testing. It was
Yeah.
a test that I took of the blood that said that my white blood cells were a little bit higher than average,
Yeah,
and the test is
move back a
basically
little bit. So I only see your eyes. I don't see the rest of your head. There we go. Yeah, go into it now. Hit it.
oh and the tests basically tell you you either have rheumatoid arthritis or lupus, and then you're
Okay.
supposed to take another test to define. But when I went to the specialist, which is a rheumatologist, he told me it didn't sound like I had it, and I was very scared at the time. You know, I was
Right.
young, and I just people telling me not to own it, so I
Right.
didn't go to my appointments like I was supposed to. But when it came full circle and my kidneys failed, I let them know, and I had a kidney biopsy, and it was
Yes.
found that I had lupus scarring
Uh-huh.
on my kidneys, which is why my kidneys failed.
Wow. So you had a double whammy. You didn't just hear about one sickness or disease, you heard two. I mean, that must have hurt your feelings or put you in a tailspin. Tell me something about that, hun.
Um, well, at that time, I mean, it just felt like my life was at a standstill
Wow.
because I'm a single mom at the time. I think my son
Yes.
was about nine,
Hmm.
8, 9, going on 10, and he's 20 now. And
Yes.
I had to like tell him the seriousness of it, and I had a few problems with him behavioral because he didn't understand, and he's fighting against me, and then I don't know. I just felt like my life was
Acted out.
over, basically.
Well, I met your son. I know your son, and I know how y'all tight y'all are, and how much he love you. That could send somebody into a tailspin. In my experience dealing with families and people. But he used to come to the center and be with you for your treatment and sit and wait for you through your treatment. Not many kids do that. That can be a boring and hard task.
Yeah, that's true. When he was younger, it was a little more easier, but as he got older, he didn't really want to be there. But I would always be grateful, really, for anyone who comes to the center to see me and support me and what I'm going through, because people see me on the street and see me still, walking tall and
Yeah.
looking strong.
Yeah, you
But
showing it. Yeah.
the reality is, it's like I could think something doesn't mean I could necessarily do it.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Because you feel, what I mean, people always treat you like you well. I don't think they know how to treat us dealing with this thing. They just one minute they treating you like you too well or too sick or don't want to talk about it or look like they scared of you or something like that. They don't know how to approach it or approach you. So I have dealt with that as well. I've dealt with that as well. So you heard this thing and you know what you have and everything. What was your experience like coming to dialysis, since you you got these two things now you got to show up at a clinic 3 times a week?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lisa. You
Uh-huh.
knew me, from the time I started at the center, in February 2007,
Yes.
South Queens Dialysis Center.
Yes.
Um, I was upset, and it showed. I took it out on the techs. I took it on the nurses, and I was rude. You know, it just took me a long time to realize that I was working against myself,
Yeah.
by missing treatments, and sometimes
Treatment.
it would be days, sometimes it would be a week.
Yes.
But like when I look back on it now, that could have been my life.
That's right. Say that. Say that. I ain't mad at you. Preach that thing. Yeah, I know you really dealt with a lot of stuff. And you took in a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I thought you was a brave, strong mother, to be honest. You know what I mean? I
Thank
saw
you.
that you was going through. You know what I mean? But you very intelligent and very smart too. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
And I know that thing was beating you down and bothering you. But you still, after you learned, you did come to treatment. I mean, I was trying to get you to become an advocate because I was an advocate by myself. I needed one on every shift. It was hard trying to deal with every shift, even though I dealt with every shift. But, I like the fact that, you were willing, or you would try, or you would do something. I mean, did when you did anything with the text or towards the text, was there any retaliation or anything? Or I mean, did they
No.
say anything? No?
No, honestly, even sometimes with incidents, till this day, I mean, they treat me with so much respect and,
That's good.
so, loving towards me. They love me there, even though, they don't like, how I might speak sometime or express myself with
Yeah.
the profanity.
Yes.
But I've made a new contract with them that I wouldn't use the profanity,
All
because
right.
sometimes I might get upset and I just, go off, and then in the end I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that.
Yeah. Well, I like that you recognize that. You know what I mean? I mean, we all don't take the thing well. We all don't always know how to act, and sometimes we are sorry and wish we can eat those words, or wish you could do the day over.
Yes.
So, been there, done that. So, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, with
So,
me, not necessarily eat my words, but because the person that I'm talking to them, but in the end, everyone is offended because the patients had to hear it. The people who I'm not talking to had to hear it, so
oh,
I
oh, you
had
was
to
talking
find a
that loud.
different way to
Yeah.
a different outlet.
Okay. All right. I mean, okay, you wasn't quiet with it. Somebody spilled into some owls and some extra people, and some people that shouldn't have heard it. I guess
Yeah,
they'll learn from it too. Sometimes,
yeah,
it shows them how to act, and sometimes it shows them how not to act. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because we all been there. I mean, at least you know now. So I ain't mad at you. They ain't mad at you either. You said they showing you love. Now, how was the center since the time you and I have spent there? Because I've been gone about 3 years since I had my transplant, and I spent 12 years on dialysis. So, has
Well,
anything
Lisa,
changed or improved, gotten better, gotten worse?
um, I think it's improved greatly because one of the things that I was fighting for was a earlier slot time, because they
Yeah, you
treated
were.
me, because I would always come in when I wanted to, but that's because I was on the evening. No sense for
Right.
me getting there at 5 and then you put me on at 7.
I ain't mad at you. Come on and talk that truth.
So I used to just come in so that I could go straight on the machine and I wouldn't get aggravated and I wouldn't,
Yeah.
start talking mess.
You ain't let them
But
have it.
I'm enjoying it more that there's someone of ethnicity running the clinic,
Get out of
because
here.
before when we had this other man, he just wasn't I don't know, he just wasn't for the people, like like,
Like you wanted them to be,
yeah,
or that you thought he was. I know. I mean, I know when I had to meet with them, because sometimes I had to meet with the staff to bring the issues of what the patients was talking about, how they felt, and a lot of times they got it or they understood it, and sometimes it took a lifetime for them to change it or do something about it. And some things they change fast and quick, and some things they just never change. So I'm glad to see changes up in the house. So changes up in
yes.
the house. All right. So do you hold any offices there since you're there now, or you just, having your treatment and stuff?
No, I mean, basically, for me, if I could muster up the energy to get there and have my treatment, I
That's
mean,
it.
it's a win for me.
Oh, I ain't
So
mad
a
at
lot
you.
of times, I never lie about it. The doctors know, the nurses know, you
Yeah.
know, I am 420 friendly, and I tell them all the time, and I go in, I'm calm, I'm serene, and the only thing that ticks me off is if someone's picking on me. Like, yeah, you can tell me not to drink water, not to eat this, not to eat that, but please don't harass me.
Okay, you don't want to hear it at that time. That ain't the
I
right
don't
time to
I,
tell
I
you.
don't want to be harassed.
Yeah.
Like, let me
Okay.
just get through my treatment.
Just let me get through. I ain't mad at you. Some people feel that way, and you gotta respect how the person feel. You know, I work in the dialysis field now as part of my job, and when I see the person head is covered, I see I'm not gonna bother them. Reading the paper like they don't want to talk, they're on the phone, I won't bother them. But if you look interested, or you give me my 2 seconds, or you say not today, Lisa, I will just leave and move because I respect your time and your space and whatever you're dealing with. You're not ready to talk to me. You're not ready to share or care. I have to leave you alone until you're ready. All I can do is say hi and keep it moving until you're ready. So I'm glad they're respecting your space. Leave you alone. Let you do your treatment. All right now. Let me see. Now, your transplant, right? Oh, you change your rooms? Okay.
Somebody
All
at the
right.
door trying to get somebody to answer it.
Oh, answer it for you. Okay. That happens when it's live. Live, all kind of stuff happen. So all right. Let me see. Transplant. Now I know you on the list. Walk us through some of that stuff. How long you been waiting? How long you been on dialysis? And what's the wait like? Can you hear
Hmm.
me? What's the wait like? How long you been on dialysis? How long you been
Uh,
on the list? And what's the transplant list wait like?
well, let me clarify that I've never been on the list.
Woo!
Um,
What? You was working on it. I know when
basically,
I left.
well, I was trying, but they said, it's between my weight, which at the time, I guess I was coming in at about 276.
Mm-hmm.
My dry weight might have been maybe 270, 265. I don't know.
Oh,
But now I'm
ah.
like 240. So I lost a little weight, but they wanted me to lose weight. And they had a problem with me taking Midodrine, which is a medication that stabilizes my blood pressure because I have low blood pressure. My
Oh.
my baseline is 90/50.
Oh, really? Mine was 90/60. It was started like that at dialysis. And then when I was outside, it became like that. So every time I flew on a plane and I went somewhere to have dialysis, oh, they start running like I had like they were doing to try to revive me or something. I'm looking around like, who they running for?
Hmm.
Because of my pressure. So I would start warning people and say, this is my pressure. This is how it is. And it probably will drop more while I'm on the machine, but that's normal for me. So, but they didn't want me to eat. I think I was in Puerto Rico. So I kept my stuff with me anyway, but the machine started going up, boop, 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 and next thing you know, oh girl, eat that. Oh my God, let her eat this. Oh my goodness. So I'm sorry about, your pressure. I never had to take medicine for it. I either had the broth temporary or they gave me saline back and stuff like that. And I
Hmm.
had gotten the bracelet. So if I was out in the street, because I passed out a couple of times, even at church. But okay, so if you fix your weight, which is you working on because you already lost.
Well, yeah, it's a work in progress. I try to go not for diet. I try to make lifestyle changes.
Yeah. Oh, good. Good. Yeah, I had to do that myself. I couldn't let it be a diet. I had to make it a way of life. So if I'm eating a cup or a half a cup of a starch or anything like that, everything was basically a cup. Vegetables and fruits, I had all I needed and wanted, and it started out like that before I was on dialysis. I kept doing everything to lose weight, and I ended up losing the weight because first I was skinny, then I was fat. I was a lot of things. But anywho,
Yeah,
okay, so it's a work in progress. How much progress have you had towards your transplant?
to my transplant.
Yeah, I mean, so you working on the weight and you working on your
Well,
blood
this is a
pressure.
new year, so earlier this year I did go and do all of the tests again. The echocardiogram, the stress test, the
Yes,
sonogram of the kidneys.
yes,
Uh, I saw the cardiologist. They cleared me again.
yeah,
Um, and now I guess they want me to do a pap smear and a mammogram again. And then
yes.
I'm gonna see the surgeon and see what he say then. But basically I got like more than probably 4,000 days on the backlist, not like inactive list. Like
Right.
I'm on the list. So when I do become active, it's like I'm gonna be at the top.
Of
That
course.
on top of, I've been on dialysis, going on 13 years.
Right. That's what made them put me ahead, and I end up being number 4 on the list. You know what I mean? So because with the Obama thing or whatever, they switched the time from time waiting to time how long you've been on dialysis. So that like just put me right in the park. Bam. So all right. So I'm glad you're doing your homework. You're doing the tests that need to be done. I mean, is the wait even doing this test, is it stressful for you or aggravating? Would you say?
Um,
Oh,
it's aggravating
yeah.
because, there's times when, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I stopped smoking weed because I wanna really get this done, but
Yeah.
it's almost like a security blanket for me. Like it's like when I'm tired and when I'm hurting and when it's like that thing that just
Yeah. Keep
fixes it
coming
all
back.
for me. Like,
Mm,
it puts
yeah.
me where I need to be.
That's your thing.
For speaking for myself.
Uh-huh.
And
Lord have
sometimes
mercy.
it's like they be having me waiting, 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 and then I end up start smoking again. And then but I'm basically waiting for them to tell me that it's my time, and then I'll be good.
You'll be good when they tell you. Well, make sure
I'll be
there's
good when they tell me, all
yeah.
right, it's you could get a kidney any day now.
Oh God, you got to go that way. You said any day now. Well, just don't hurt yourself. Don't do no harm to yourself. Some things, don't mix with medications. You know that already. I mean, you all schooled in this. I ain't got
Well,
that.
lucky for me, I'm not on anything psychotropic,
All right, now
but
see, there you
ain't
go
nothing
again, doing
green
your
gonna mess
homework.
with anything anything like that. So I'm good.
Okay.
It might lower my pressure a little more, but I'm okay.
All right. Well, what would you what would you tell somebody else doing this walk? This same walk you went through, whether they're being a mother on dialysis or being a mother waiting on a transplant or being a mother battling with two different type of diseases they're dealing with, with the kidney and with the lupus. What would you say, or a word of encouragement, or tough love to, or whatever you want to say?
Well, the what I would say that's inspirational is to just don't give up, don't give up on life, don't give up on yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to always think about it's not just you. Because if it was just you, it would seem so easy to just check out. You know what? I can't deal with this no more. But, I had a son who was looking up for me for guidance, and I wanted to make sure that whenever I left him, that he would be okay. So
Yeah.
that means I have to make sure I'm okay for as long as I can be okay, so that I can teach him and I can show him. And also, my family and friends, even though they might think I'm strong, but at my lowest points when I was in the hospital and I need some encouraging words,
Yes.
they were there and they were always worried about me and worried that, that I would give up, but I didn't. And I found strength in sometimes taking the deaths that I saw at dialysis, like one
Mm,
of my very first friends was Gerald Esserum, and
mm.
he had died. He had went to the hospital, and I noticed he wasn't coming to dialysis, and they told me something had happened to him. He went to the hospital for his heart, and he never
Yeah.
returned. So I started
Wow.
taking little things. I mean, not little. It's not little. God
Something.
forgive me. But
Yes.
I started taking things like that about people that I knew or people that I seen all the time and that had passed on. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna miss treatments.
So
I
it took
just
that.
made it. I kind of made
Mm.
a pact with myself
Yeah.
that this is how I'm gonna remember these people by not disrespecting the fact that I still have life in my body and I'm gonna come to my treatments.
Wow. Well, you don't never know what'll teach you your lesson or what will focus you or bring you to your knees or bring you to where you gotta be or go. going forward. So that was one of the things. I remember we lost Michael. You remember was I mean sorry, Anthony, cuz you know,
Yes.
I we loved Anthony. That like hit us very
Yes.
hard, you know. And then
Yes.
so I mean, thank God a lot of people have left for transplants. You know, Emery and Cook and everything like that. But some people went home with God. Some people left unexpectedly. I mean, they just left, and it just was hard. And some died in the center.
So
You
many.
notice we witnessed some in the center. We were right there, and they tried not to let us know it, but we knew it. You know, you can always feel it or and stuff like that, especially when they start working on people.
Yes.
But I mean, is there any part of your journey or your story that you haven't mentioned that you might want to say or anything?
Um. Well, just like they teach you a lot of things about your nutrition and your diet. We have to take our binders for the phosphorus. Can't have too
Right,
much phosphorus because it weakens your bones. It causes calcifications in your
right,
body, which is basically bone growing. um and then with the potassium, can't your body makes potassium, but also food has potassium, so you can't put in too much potassium. You don't want to have a heart attack.
that's right.
So I got so that I paid close attention to the blood test that they gave me every month,
Yeah,
because for me, they always say limit or omit, like chocolate and bananas and thick orange juice, but
right.
honestly I still have those things. Once in a while, I still have some orange juice. I still make banana pudding and have some. I still make macaroni and cheese, baked macaroni and cheese, because my son loves it. I don't eat as much as they do, but I
Yeah.
still have it. I still put tomatoes on my sandwich. You go to the hospital and they won't give you so much as a pack of ketchup for your
Mm.
burger.
Wow. I
But
think they gave me
it's
mayonnaise
like
or
you don't
something.
have to be that rigid.
Right, right. Well, I always like balance because I ate the bananas and stuff, but they told me I could. And even though they told me, I was still scared, so I would eat it once in a while and sometime. But if I wanted something, I ate it. If my report card was bad, I punished myself and I didn't have it. You know what I mean? So I did pay attention to the report card. I was very much strict with myself. And I had a whole family of people on dialysis. So we all, shared war stories, about it and what we dealt with and everything like that. So I'm proud that you doing that because you know, I remember and I know you and you out there close and personal about what you do and what you're talking about. So you live this thing. So nobody can tell your story like you. And I'm just so glad you shared it. I mean, is there anybody out there you want to give a shout out to or want to thank anybody personally or whatever it is?
Yes, I would like to just thank South Queens Dialysis,
Nice.
just for having me all these years, because things could have been so much different if maybe I felt rejected. Maybe I wouldn't have went to dialysis as much. Maybe, I could have got much more sick. Like people like Jeanette, um,
I love Jeanette.
Pauline,
Yes,
Wendy, Jim
yes,
Shaw, from the old to the
yes,
new. I mean, there's scores
yes.
of people.
Miss G,
I'm unable to
say all the
mention
names.
everybody,
Right, right.
but
I
I
know.
have much love and respect for them and what they went through with me and where they're
Yeah.
taking me. Like as far as I'm thinking about home dialysis, hemo.
What?
Um,
I got the
if,
hookup
if
with that.
if I don't get the transplant, like those are like
Yes.
the two ways I could go, because I've been coming to the center so long.
Now you ready to do it at home? Well, you let
Yeah, I'm,
me
I'm
know
ready just for something different.
something else. Well, baby, your prayers has been answered. I mean, I know a lot of people that deal with next stage. Miss Dawn P. Mormon and Edwards. She deals with that, and it's so many others. And we got each other's numbers, and we got each other's back like we always had. You know what I'm saying? So, I remember we used to talk on the phone in the hospital and stuff like that. So listen, you're gonna get what you need. So while you on the list, if you want to do it at home, we're gonna make that happen the best we can. So now you thank the center. I'm
Definitely.
sure your family looking for some kind of love or thanks, even though you gave them their prompts. You know. Well, you
You
don't
said
have
my
to.
family looking for some kind of what?
No, I said now you already gave your family your props, but is there anybody in particular that you want to thank in your family or anybody personal? Anybody, a neighbor. I don't know, your job. I don't know.
Well, I have to thank my mom because I mean, it's like when nobody else was there. She always came to the hospital. you know,
Nothing like a mother.
even though we was up to our own antics, trying to get outside the building to smoke, but still, we just, she just always came to see me, and
I mean,
she would always encourage me to be good, and oh Lisa, because she calls
yeah,
me Lisa even though my name is Alicia.
yeah,
Oh Lisa, let these people do what they got to do. And basically, I never really had a problem, except if there was a problem with me,
right.
and then I would have to speak my mind and speak up. Because as you know, being going in the hospital and being in the hospital is like you're at your most vulnerable point,
Yes.
and it's like some of these professionals, they'll come in. Well, you want a so-called professional come in and they'll just give you some fly by night patient. But
Uh-huh.
sometimes you got to speak up for yourself and you
Yes.
got to tell them what's going on with you, everything. I try to let them know everything. That
Yes.
way
Put it out there.
we could just nip it in the bud.
Snip. Yes. Yes. Well,
And
that's good.
last year, as you know, Lisa, I had a very hard year last year because even though I'm not diabetic, I had to have um, tips of toes and two toes removed last year because of the neuropathy in my feet.
Shondo. What? You didn't tell me.
And it really blew my mind because even though it wasn't a foot or a leg, it
Yeah.
sure felt like it. Just because I wouldn't care if it was, they told me they was trimming my eyelashes. It just felt like I was losing a piece of me.
Yes.
And
Oh, wow.
that's all. But in the end, with the healing process was good, and everything looks good. I don't have any open wounds, and it's like at this point that's all I can ask for.
Mm. Mm. Well, girl, I'm proud of you. I always have been. And I thank you for even wanting to come over here to take care of me, to clean my house and all of that because of this osteoporosis. You got your own stuff going on. But I love that about you. I ain't mad at you now. So,
Yeah, but even though we're sick, there's always someone sicker. You know what I'm
you ain't
saying?
never lied.
It's like some days I'm down and I can't do much. I have to sit down in between just chopping an onion to put in the food to make the
Come
food,
on, say it.
But
Uh-huh.
I just try to, if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's right. Do the best
So,
you can.
if I could walk to the store or make a run for somebody, or, shit,
Yeah.
my house needs to be cleaned itself, but, I have a home health aide. She helps me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got
But
love
that
all
doesn't mean
around
that I
you.
would say, oh, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would say, well, let me see how far I could get.
Well, I try to help somebody too, whatever little bit or small or big I could do. But Elise, Alicia, I just want to thank you again for coming on. I'm going to end the show, but I appreciate you, and sisters for life. And you just keep up the good work. Please give your son my love and your mother. And just hang in there, keep doing you, and I'm glad for your truth and your wisdom. I'm sure some kind of something is out there that'll let you use all of that you have, all your truth and your wisdom, whether it's employment or your own business, but it's something. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and thanks again, and I'm gonna say bye to my viewers, but much love, girl. Yes, I ain't mad at you, and thanks again.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, guys, That is the show. Did I tell you it was going to be great, dynamic, fantabulous? Yes, I did. My girl not only gave you the 411, she gave you the truth, sideways, upways, upside down. That's what it's all about. See, we all got different journeys, and the story got to be told because it got to reach you out there. So this is your girl, Lisa Baxter, saying not only good night, but take care of your kidneys, and they'll take care of you. Keep watching the show, share it, pay it forward, be nice. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Peace.